61 Leichhardt Avenue in Burnside Heights. My name is Robert Ozzimo and I proudly represent the company of Harcourts, Rata and Co. West. I'm joined here today by some of my award-winning team in blue. Should you require their advice, please feel free to approach either Nicole, Chelsea, Daniel and of course Sarah Bezzina and Nathan Hunt, who no doubt you've had the great pleasure of becoming acquainted with throughout the marketing campaign. Guys, let me share with you now the following announcements which you place up your bid and buy with absolute confidence here tonight. The auction will be conducted in accordance with the rules, and any additional conditions are made available for inspection before the start of the auction. The auction rules prohibit an auctioneer from accepting bids or offers for a property after the property has been knocked down to the successful bidder. The vendors have a reserve price as the auctioneer. I'll indicate bidders on request. The law prohibits false bids, prohibits major disruptions by bidders, and prohibits bidders attempting to prevent others from bidding, and provides for fines for such conduct. The rules permit for vendor bids. The words I'll use during the auction to indicate that I'm making a bid on behalf of the vendor are vendor bid, and by law only I, as the auctioneer, can make a vendor bid. The contract of sale has been on display prior to tonight's auction. We call for 10% deposit upon the fall of the hammer and the signing of that contract to take place here tonight, with the balance to be paid at settlement in a flexible 30 to 60 days time, at which time the vendor will provide the lucky buyer with vacant possession of the property. All in all, quite a straightforward contract. Everything's in there, everything's quite clear. Buyers is with my highest recommendation what we offer for your consideration and competition here this evening. What a great opportunity for the first home buyers among us, what a great opportunity for the investors among us, and what a great opportunity for you and your family to buy this fantastic family home in this fantastic family location where we enjoy access to absolutely everything that you need, not only for a great lifestyle, but also all of that infrastructure supports capital growth and providing security for you and your family for the years to come. Easy access to a plethora of parkland, easy access to a number of transport and shopping options, and schools close as hand, as close as across the road, no less. So great opportunity in a great pocket. Let's have a look at the home itself. A free-flowing floor plan, that beautiful large formal lounge in the middle, spilling out to that huge open area incorporating living, dining and that massive kitchen. Perfect for entertaining, perfect for celebrating. A huge kitchen bench to put the birthday cake on. It ticks absolutely every single box, and of course add to that a great sized backyard for relaxing or entertaining. Buyers, as I said, it's a great opportunity, and if you'd like to secure the rights to put the sold sticker on the board, right now is your time to do just that. Where can I see a fair and reasonable starting bid for 61 Leichhardt? Who'd like to start us off, buyers? I don't mind the call, I'm in your hands. Start me with at 650,000, we're off and running now at 650 the bid. At 650,000, I'll take 25 in the rise, make it 6 3/4. At 650,000, fairly been offered now at 650 the bid. At 650,000, there's the bid, there's the competition, the opportunity with you all now. At 650,000, at 75, welcome sir and best of luck. At 675, at 675,000, you didn't do that just for the wine, did you, sir? At 675, round me off to 7. Show us you mean business. At 675,000, bids there. It's against you at 700 if you like. At 700, got now even money. It's just an even number, so don't let it scare you off. At 700,000, the bid's there. Can I say 725 in the rise? At 700,000, fairly been offered now. At 700, the bid. Oh, not at the moment, so we're just in the middle of an auction, but we'll get you through. Yeah. At 700,000, the bid's there. At 700,000 with you, sir. No, I had 675 over here. 675 was the bid against your bid. 700 puts you in front. What would you like to bid, sir?
5,000.
I'm not taking 5 at this stage. We'll retract that $700,000 bid. I'm happy to work with you. Can I say 690? No. I'll circle back to you then, sir. 675,000, bids back with you, sir. Good fortune. At 675,000 now, fairly been offered for the first call. At 675,000. I just knocked 80 back there, ma'am. I'm taking 90 in the rise if it helps. Can I say 90? At 90 now, welcome in. Best of luck at 690 the bid. At 690,000. At 690,000, at 700 I'll take it, and short of my stride at 700, and the same courtesy at 10 if you like, ma'am. At 700,000 the bid's there. At 700, we got there in the end, sir. At 700,000 even money now. At 700,000, 10 if you like. At 710 now got. At 710,000. At 710,000, fairly been offered now. 710 the bid. At 710,000, fairly been offered now. First call at 710,000, all done. Second call at 710,000. At 20 now, I've got 20 here, Nate. Hot bid in here. We need a nice back at 720,000. We are on the market, so I'm glad you asked. At 720,000. At 720,000, the bid's here in the centre at 720 now. We are on the market. We sell here today at 720,000. The bid's here. The keys are here. If you've come to buy at 25 now, at 7.25. At 725, the bid. Only cost you 5 on top, sir, but I dare say the best response to a small one is always a big one. At 725, the bid. The bid's there. At 725,000 was at 30, sir. At 725, I have here. At 725,000, fairly bid and offered well. At 2.5 or 727.5. At 727,500, a short leap to 30 will get you back in front. Put the keys back in your pocket for now. At 727, at 30 now got. At 730,000. At 730,000, sir. Don't give me one bid and run off. Give me a big bid before we part ways. At 730,000, the bid's there. At 730, the bid. We are on the market. We sell here tonight. So if you have indeed come to buy, you must bid me now or forever hold your peace, because we sell. There's no second chances. At $730,000 the bid. The bid's here. The keys are here at 31 now. At 731,000 we're selling, ma'am. At 731. At 32 now. At 732 the bid. At 732,000 I have. At 732 straight back at you, sir, ma'am. At 32 and the bid's there. At 732,000 sold the keys. At 732 if you've come to buy, show me now. At 732,000, sir. We done over here? Definitely done. Thank you very much for your bidding here tonight. At 732,000, bids here, keys here, sir. Instructions on the phone. At 732,000, 32 I have here. At 732 the bid. At 732,000, bids there, keys are there. We sell once at 732. Done. Second call at 732,000. Done and finished.
1,000.
At 33 now. At 733. Ones aren't working, ma'am. Give me a bigger bid. At 733,000, at 35 now. At 700, I was hoping for a little bit bigger, but it does put you ahead. At 735 now. At 735,000, the bid's back there now. At 735, if you want those keys, show me now. At 735,000, keys with you, ma'am. At 735,000, fairly been offered now at 735, the bid. We sell away if there's no further bidding. At 735,000, we're definitely out there. With you now at 6 now, 736. At 736,000, save me the walk, was just making my way over at 36 and 37 now. At 737. At 737 the bid. At 737,000, bids back there now at 737. No second chances here tonight. We are playing for keeps. At 37 the bid, on the market and selling at $737,000 for the first call at 737. All done. Second call at 737. Done. Finished at 38. At 738,000. At 738, back there now at 738. At 738,000 now, fairly been offered. At 7, I'll tell you what, so if you give me 740, we'll let you inspect it in the middle of the auction. How's that? At 738,000, no, all right. I thought I might as well try. At 40 now, at 40 got. At 740,000. At 740,000, fairly been offered. We're back here now at 40. At 740,000, got to dig deep if you want to buy. At 740 the bid. First call at 740,000. Done! Second call at 41 at 741. How about 45, ma'am? Be bold. At 741 now, take me to 45. At 741,000, statement bid at 45 if you like. At 741 and the bid's there, the keys are there. At 43. At 743, the bid now. At 743,000, fight fire with fire. Give me 2 on top at 43. Bids against you at 743. At $743,000 bid. Can I say 45? I'll give you a moment to think about it and circle back. We're definitely done here. We're definitely done there. So off the phone at 7. Imagine you called them back and told them you bought it. How good would that be? Be a great Christmas present. At 743,000, bids here, keys are here. First call at 45 now, we got there at 745. At 745,000. At 745,000, fairly been offered now at 745. We sell once at 745 and a half, at 745 and a half. At 745,500 now. It's only a $500 bid, so it's easy to beat. At 745,500 now, 745 and a half, and the bid's here. Keys are here at 46 got. At 746 now. At 746,000, bid back there and a half now, 46 and a half. At 746,500. Give me a bigger bid than half. Show me what you want to buy. At 746 and a half. How about take me to 50? Let's be bold. At 746 and a half, and the bid's there. The keys are there.
47,500.
At 47 and a half. At 47 and a half now. 747,500. Bid back there now. 50, can I say, ma'am? At 747,000. At 50 now, at $750,000 a bid. Bids there, keys are there. Has she done enough now at 750? It's somewhat of a round number, but it's only $1,000 more than 749 at 750,000. The bid's there at 750. The bid at 750,000. As I said, you have to dig deep right now if you want to buy at 750. Bids with you, ma'am. Keys are with you at 750,000 for the first call at 750. All done. Second call at 750,000. Done. Finished at 1 at 751. At 751,000 now. At 751 and the bid's back there now at 751,000. Fairly been offered now at 751 and a half at 751 and a half. Not going away with the small bids at 751,500. Small bids aren't working. Try big one at 52. At 752 now. At 752,000. Fairly been offered behind opportunity with your ma'am in front at 752 the bid. At 752,000. If you tell me you're out, I'll sell there. At 752 the bid now. Once at 53 at 753 at 753,000 at 753 the bid's at 753 and 500 now 753 and a half at 753,500. Pressure straight back on you at 54 now at 754 at $754,000 a bid at 4 and a half at 754,500 at 754 and a half now. Bid behind me now at 754 and a half. The keys are there at 754,500. I'll give you the same advice, ma'am. If you want to buy, dig deep right now at 756 now at 756,000. Back here with you, sir. 756,000. Keys are there at 756 and a half now at 756 and a half at 756,500. Would it be bold of me to ask for 760 in the rise, ma'am? At 756,500. The bid's there. The keys are there. We sell at 756 and a half now. Once at 57 at 757 at 757,000. 60 might be the limit there. If it is, you want to get there first at 757,000 at 757 the bid now. Fairly been offered at $757,000 the bid. First call at 757 done. 500 and a half at 757 and a half. Got to be 60 surely at 757,500 at 60 now, and I would think so. $760,000 the bid. Bids there, keys are there. We're selling once at 760. All done. Second call at 760,000 done. 500 and a half at 760 and a half. Wasn't quite enough, ma'am. 761 might be the limit. One now at 761 at 761,000 at 761. Back there now at 761, ma'am. You keep saying that, but you keep coming along with me bidding. Give me a big one at 761,000. The bid's there, the keys are there. We're selling now. Once at 761, all done. Twice at 761, done. Finished. Third at 500, 761 and a half, at 761 and a half, ma'am, at 761,500, back against your bid at 762 now, at 762, at 762,000, fairly been offered, at 762, is that the limit now, at 762,000, fairly been, the limit was 761 and a half, at 762,000, surely not, at 762,000, fairly been offered, and the bid's there, at 762 the bid, at 762,000, out here, out over there at 762, if you tell me you're out, sir, ma'am, I will sell at that at 762,000. I dare say the kids have chosen their rooms. That's not let them down. At 762,000. First call at 762. All done. Second call at 762,000. Done. Finished. Third. Final call at 762. All done. All finished. 500 and a half at 762 and a half. At 763 now, straight back at you at 763. Pressure right back on you at 763,000, and we're back there at 763. At 763,000, how about 65, sir? At 763,000, fairly been offered now at 763 the bid. At 763,000, bids there, keys are there. We sell once at 763. Are we done? Twice at 763. Are we done? Finished. Third, final call 500 at 763 and a half. At 763,500. At 763, can I say 65? At 763 and a half, can I say 65, ma'am, in the rise at 763 and a half, and the bid's there. At 64, at 764, at 764,000 now, 764 the bid, at 764,000, fairly been offered. Opportunities are limited before the end of the year, but the opportunities here, the opportunities now, at 764, if you want those keys, show me now, at 764,000, once at 764, all done, twice at 764. All done. Finished. Third. Final. 764.5 at 764.5 and 65 beckons now at 65 got at 765 at 765 short sharp bids at 765 now at 765,000. Are we definitely done now? I'll make you a deal. So I'm going to count to 3 and then I'm going to check with you one more time, and then if you tell me you're done, then I will sell at 765. The bid's there, the keys are there at 765,000. First call at 765. Done. Second call at 765,000, done and finished. Third, final call, $765,000 the bid, all done, all finished, all silent out at 765. I told you I'd be back, sir. What's the decision? We're definitely done. Thank you very much for your spirited bidding here tonight. At 765,000, once, twice, third, final call, done, finished, silent and out. We are selling. Absolutely sure? Selling. Selling! Sold! Congratulations and well bid. Please join me in congratulating our purchasers and our vendors here tonight. You've just witnessed another successful Harcourts, Rata and Co West auction. Have a great night. We'll see you again soon. Thank you. Congratulations. Well bid. Well done.
Thank
Well
you.
done.
Thank you.